Good evening. This is our regular meeting of the City of Southfield for August 16th, 2021 at 6 p.m. via WebEx. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Banks. Brightwell.
Here.
Cruz. I see him on. Cruz. Frazier.
Here.
Hoskins.
Here.
Mandelbaum.
Present.
Not working.
All right, we hear you, Cruz. We just heard you. And Taylor.
Here.
Madam President, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. I will now say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And just for our listening audiences and our viewing audience, we are still experiencing technical difficulties with our Comcast video as well as our live streaming due to the bad weather and rain that we've been having. We are still experiencing technical difficulties in both those areas. That's with our Comcast video and our live streaming. So we apologize in advance for that. First up, we have our presentation of our joint resolution from Empowerment Church. And I'm hoping that Reverend Carlisle Stewart IV is on the line.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Well, before we present, Madam Clerk, are you going to put it on the screen or do I need to read it separately?
We can just read it separately. We normally don't put it up on the screen.
Okay, one moment then. I apologize. One moment. While I'm pulling this up on my computer, I was just going to mention that Empowerment recently purchased the Shriners building on Southfield Road. And they decided to stay here in Southfield. After 7 years of renting that building, we decided to stay there. And we just wanted to congratulate them for staying here in Southfield, as well as 7 years of new memberships that we're having here in the city. And I'm having a little difficulty, so I'm trying to do this. One moment. Madam Clerk, I'm having a difficult time finding this. Would you mind sending it to me one more time? I think
Sure.
it was,
Give me a second. Give me one
it was
second.
sent to me by, was it sent to me by you or by Nicole?
Nicole sent it. I can send it to you right now.
I apologize,
No
everyone.
problem.
Okay, and the resolution, thank you again for your patience. The resolution is the presentation of the joint resolution between the mayor and the city council of the city of Southfield and Empowerment Church. Whereas on Sunday, July 6, 2014, God ushered in new faith community when he opened the doors of the Empowerment Church here in Southfield with its guest speaker, the Reverend Dr. Carlisle Fielding Stewart III. and 175 new members. Whereas today, Empowerment is recognized as one of the fastest growing churches in the community, with over 1,100 people received into membership, 38 ministries, 2 full-time associate ministers, several clergy and ministerial team members, a full-time administrative services and support staff, 3 boards, and a holding company. And whereas in the past few years, this growth has led to an expansion with 3 new spaces. The Power Center, dedicated to nurturing our young people spiritually and academically. The beautiful new Fellowship and Learning Center with a cafe and kitchen, designed to address the multi-generational spiritual, social, educational, missional, and fellowship needs of our faith community. And the new Agape Life Center, designed to offer pastoral care services and counseling. And whereas for the past 7 years, Empowerment has supported the needs of the community through the annual book bag and school supply drives, our annual Stock the Shelves for Lighthouse of Oakland County, Feed the Community through our Gleaners Mobile Pantry partnership, conducted annual diaper drives, sponsored an annual Angel Tree to provide Christmas gifts to local families, sponsored voter registration drives, and social justice forums to educate the community on knowing their rights and the importance of elections. And whereas in the midst of a pandemic, the story continues to unfold as the church successfully purchased a new facility on Friday, May 14th, 2021. The Empowerment Church now has a new church home and community center to better serve the needs of the people throughout the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the City of Southfield, County of Oakland, State of Michigan, do hereby recognize Pastor Carlisle Fielding Stewart III for his dedication to faith, the community, and maintaining a place to worship in Southfield. And this is dated and signed by by the mayor and council on the 16th day of August. The Shriners Building was purchased on May 14th, 2021, the Shriners Building on Southfield Road by the Empowerment Church. And I just want to say that as our pastor, Pastor Carlisle Fielding Stewart III, always reminds us or uses the words of Maya Angelou, where people may not remember the things that you've done or the things that you've said. They do remember how you make them feel. And one of the things about the Empowerment Church is that whenever you visit there, their motto is that the Empowerment Church is a church for where everybody is a somebody, and every somebody and everyone is someone. So what they do, or what we do, is try to make everyone feel welcome when you're invited into the church home of Empowerment. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you to the Empowerment Church and Pastor Carlisle Fielding Stewart for staying here in the city of Southfield. Okay.
Madam President, can you just call for a motion so we can get it approved before the comments of?
Okay. May I please have a motion for the acceptance of the joint resolution?
This is Councilman Mandelbaum. I'd like to move that we approve the joint resolution to Empowerment Church.
Support.
Okay, it's been motioned by Councilman Mandelbaum, supported by Councilman Frazier, for the acceptance of the joint resolution to Empowerment Church. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brightwell,
Yes.
Cruz, Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
and Banks.
Yes.
Cruz also approves too. I'm sorry, I didn't get the button fast enough.
Okay.
Thank you. Council, would you like to add anything or have any comments? And I'll start with you, Councilman Mandelbaum.
No, I'm glad that Empowerment Church has found a permanent home in Southfield. We're glad to have you. Thank you for staying.
Thank you. Councilwoman Banks?
Thank you for staying in the city of Southfield, and I was happy to learn that you did purchase the Shriners building. I always thought that building should be used for either a church and or a synagogue, and I'm glad to see that a church now resides there. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Brightwell?
I also want to echo what's been stated. I've attended services there several times, and I definitely appreciate staying in Southfield, and congratulations on the purchase. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Cruz?
Yes, I'm very pleased that Dr. Stewart and his um, congressional family have decided to stay at Southfield as well, and look forward to visiting again. So thank you all for staying in the city, and we appreciate the work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Frazier?
Yes, I also agree that it's great that the church is staying in the city of Southfield on a permanent basis. There isn't a kinship between the church and the city of Southfield because we used to own that building. That was our art center for several years. And so it's good that it's being put to the use that it was designed for. And congratulations.
Thank you. And Councilman Hoskins?
Thank you. And I'll echo everything that my colleagues have said. I'm very happy that you found a permanent home here in Southfield, and I want to thank you for all the work that you've done. And I also want to thank you, or not thank you, but congratulate you for recently celebrating your 7th anniversary. I'm so happy you all are here, and I hope that you have many, many years here in Southfield. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Stiver?
Yes, thank you. I had the pleasure of attending the consecration of the church on July 18th. And it certainly was a joyous occasion. Presented comments along with Congresswoman Lawrence on that Sunday. And as far as the building goes, it's an iconic Southfield structure. And I'm very pleased that it's got new ownership as this is part of our mid-century modern collection. And I know that Empowerment will be good stewards of that building. Again, my congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. Is there any other person that would like to comment on this resolution?
Yeah, I can say a couple words. This is Reverend Carlisle Stewart IV. I'm here on behalf of Reverend Dr. Stewart, my dad and the senior leader, the spiritual leader of the Empowerment Church. And I just want to thank you all for this acknowledgement. And just to share a couple more words, you know, my dad started ministry in the Southfield area in the 80s when he came back to Hope United Methodist Church, and has been here ever since, and has always had a deep commitment towards shepherding the people of God, the people of Southfield, people of the Detroit metro area, and really trying to be a light and pillar in the community. So now as we have acquired Empowerment and, acquired the Shriners Center, we just have a lot of hopes and dreams for the futures and how many more people we can reach, and really making that place and that center and that congregation a pillar and a fixture in the community for decades to come, not just years, but decades to come. So yeah, we're deeply grateful to you all, and I'm very appreciative, and we just hope and pray that we can continue to grow and do God's work. So thank you all for this acknowledgement.
Thank you. And in true transparency, Empowerment is my church home, and Pastor Carlisle Fielding Stewart III is my spiritual leader. This is Councilwoman Lenny Taylor. So in true transparency, I believe I should let the audience know that as well. But thank you so much, and thank you for being on the call, Reverend Stewart.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, our next, do we have to vote on this? I'm sorry, or no?
I think we do.
Okay.
We already voted.
Okay,
We did.
thank you. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm having a few technical challenges going on here myself, so if I repeat things, please bear with me. I really apologize. But thank you, and thank you for the support. Okay, then we can go on to our next item, which is the reappointment to the Downtown Development Authority of Mr. Michael Farland.
Yes, Madam Chair, this is Mayor Seibert. I want to, it's Michael McFarland, McFarland. And Mr. McFarland is a resident of the DDA, the district, the Downtown Development Authority District. And it's very vital for the board to have a resident on it as part of the mix. Oakland Community College, the Providence Hospital, Oak Park Schools are also various segments that make up the board, as well as local businesses. So Mr. McFarland has served with distinction, and I'm recommending to the council his reappointment this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name, but I saw Farland on the screen here, and so I apologize. Council?
Madam President, I move that we accept the mayor's recommendation to reappoint Michael McFarland to the Downtown Development Authority.
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilman Cruz, supported by Councilwoman Banks, for us to accept the reappointment to the Downtown Development Authority of Mr. Michael McFarland. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Cruz,
Yes.
Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
and Brightwell.
Yes.
Is Mr. McFarland on the line? Would he like to share a few words with us?
I am on the line. I'm not sure whether I can be heard. I did unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Amazing. This is a new system for me to deal with in terms of communication. I don't have a video, but I do see that I can speak. So thank you very much, members of the council, and as well as Mayor Ken Seibert. I have very much enjoyed the past 4 years on the SDDA, and look forward to another good 4 years of contributing and distributing, if you will, information that happens on the board to as many residents as I can reach in the area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. All right. Okay. We'll move on to our next item, which is our approval of minutes. We have a committee of the whole meeting of July 12th of 2020 and a regular meeting minutes of July 19th, 2021.
Madam Chair, before we proceed with the minutes, I would like to get a clarification on an item in the minutes of July 12, 2021.
Yes.
This is primarily for Mrs. Zahn and or the Alice Severs, the Downtown Development Director. With respect to AK Peerless, I know we're spending $60,000 for their services, and we are to be reimbursed from the TIF. And I want to make sure, well, I have two items. One, that statement in the minutes said that the minutes for the business development, I mean, not the minutes, but the budget for business development will take care of this on a yearly basis. It'll be provided in future downtown, future business development budgets. So it's my understanding that we will be reimbursed, but if we are providing money in the budget every year for AKT Fearless, and this whole project, it's going to be years before we get fully reimbursed. So how are we accounting for this? And will we make sure that there's a tickler that we get reimbursed for these funds? That was for Zorn or Al or Cephas or whoever else. That's up to our fiscal director. He indicated that I would have to get it direct.
Well, this is Rochelle Freeman.
Yeah.
I sit as the staff person to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board, and we will be monitoring all of the funds on a regular basis. And so we will make sure that we do reimburse the department. Documentation, we work with the city treasurer's office and finance to make sure that as dollars are coming back to the city through the tax collection, that it's paid, that the right departments are paid back for their expenses. So we will be monitoring those dollars.
Okay.
Madam President,
Yes.
this is Administrator Zorn. I'd also like to point out that the Brownfield Revolving Loan Fund is starting to capitalize. There is an extensive accounting done on all of our brownfield activities. It is separately monitored in our audit as a component unit. There is also substantial reporting to the state of Michigan regarding the capture of each individual plan, as well as all of the plans in their collective. These fees, there could be a mechanism where our Brownfield Revolving Loan Fund, which is starting to be capitalized, could be paying that money back in the interim. But as Ms. Freeman has indicated, this will be accounted for in the individual plan and then the overall brownfield activities as well.
Thank you. Thank you both. Mr. Brightwell, does that answer your question?
Yes, but let me give you a premise of my question. This project is a long-term project, and if it is be an ongoing tax capture. And I just want the minutes to reflect the fact that we did discuss this and that there's no ambiguity with respect to being reimbursed for this particular item, because it's a small item in the scheme of things. $60,000 Northland project is a very small item, but it is $6,000 worth of taxpayers' money. And I just want to make sure that the minutes reflect 10 years from now, 15 years from now, that we did approve this with the understanding the city would get reimbursed. So that was the premise for the question. I'm satisfied with the answer, and obviously it will behoove us to monitor all the funds, the TIF coming back in, because it's going to be a long project, and 20 years from now, the only thing people had to rely on is what's ready. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion?
I make a motion, Madam Chair. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of July 12, 2021, and also we approve the minutes of July 19, 2021, in the regular meeting.
Support Councilman Cruz.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved by Councilman Brightwell, supported by Councilman Cruz for the acceptance of Committee of the Whole meeting minutes of July 12th, 2021, with the discussion that we just had, and the approval of regular meeting minutes of July 19, 2021. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
and Brightwell.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have our consent agenda. Before I go through the list, are there any items on this list that we would like to pull for discussion or any other reasons, Council?
Madam Chair. Councilman,
Yes.
I'd like to pull H, just for clarification purposes only. Item H.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to pull item F, for clarification, please.
Yes. Okay, anyone else? Okay. I ask for a motion for the approval of consent agenda items A, B, C, D, E, G, I, and J.
Madam Council, Councilman Brightwell,
Yes.
I'd like to move that we approve the consent agenda item as read by you. Thank you.
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilman Brightwell, supported by Councilman Frazier for the approval of consent agenda items A, B, C, D, E, G, I, and J. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Brightwell,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
and Frazier.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And now for discussion, we'll start with item F, the liquor license request. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Banks.
Thank you. Are these gonna be the same owners that presently are there now?
Yes, Councilwoman Banks, it's the same owners. They simply just did a LLC, which they've been approved by the state. It was just a name change. So for them to officially change the name, the state has already approved it, but they just needed local approval for it. So their new name is just Delicious and Nutritious Restaurant Group LLC. Everything else will remain the same with the exception of the name change.
Okay, so then prior to this, they did not have a liquor license?
Yes, this liquor license was approved. Their original liquor license was approved July of 2019.
Okay, reason I was asking is, I drive by the restaurant all the time and I never can tell if it's open or not open, so, I'm surprised to see that a liquor license had been approved for the
Yep,
city. And I didn't know if it was originally, I believe the new owners purchased it from the previous Chinese restaurant that was there. So I don't know if the liquor license was transferred from them originally.
The liquor license was transferred from another entity, and they have limited hours. So they're not open on Monday or Tuesday. They're open actually from Wednesday to Sunday, and they don't open up to 3 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much. No
You're
further
welcome.
questions.
Okay, thank you. Do we want to wait and do the last two items together, or should I ask for, you want to vote on this one separately and then we can discuss the other one? Council?
Madam President, since they were pulled separately, we would need to vote for them separately.
Okay, thank you for that. May I have a motion, please?
Councilwoman Banks, I move that the liquor license request for Delicious and Nutritious Restaurant Group LLC be approved.
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilwoman Banks, supported by Councilman Frazier for the approval of the liquor license request for Delicious and Nutritious Restaurant Group LLC. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Taylor,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Brightwell,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
and Mandelbaum.
Yes.
And Madam President, we are getting some feedback. If we can have individuals mute if they're not talking.
Yes, please. Would you please mute your line if you're not speaking? Thank you. Our next item for discussion was the receipt of bids on tree trimming and removal services. Dan, Councilman Brightwell?
Yeah, it's a very good, nice looking spreadsheet, but I want some clarifications on the topics that are identified in the spreadsheet. And I know that the write-up indicated they have performed very well for many years. So I'm not questioning that. I just want to know what I'm approving. The spreadsheet indicate lot 1 tree trim. What is lot 1? And then we got tree removal. I just want to know what I'm approving here. It looks nice. It's pretty. It makes sense. But I don't know I know what I'm reading, but I don't understand it from a tree trimming standpoint. I'm assuming someone might be able to answer this. It might be a technical question, and
Madam President, this is Administrator Zorn. I'm somewhat reluctant that the question may be more technical, and I'm looking to see if perhaps someone else from Public Works is on or purchasing, and I'm not seeing a name jump out at me. Obviously, we're asking council's authorization for the mayor and clerk to execute a contract for $180,000 and charging it to major streets. I know we pay a certain price based on the size of the limb cut, but I candidly don't understand the difference between lot 1 and lot 2, and I apologize.
Madam
Madam President,
Yes.
this is John McCrena. And as I recall, I don't have it in front of me, but there was a difference between trimming trees or actually taking them down. And they were two different lots.
Lot 1 is tree trimming, lot 2 is tree removal, and depending upon the size of the tree, there's a different price per range of inch.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
also in the first column, so that's 12-inch or 24. No, that's the width of the tree, 49-inch tree. So that's part of the nomenclature there.
It does denote the size of the tree. It's at a certain height. I don't recall what that height is, but it does denote different costs for size of trees. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so and this is, and I know we're pleased with these individuals. Obviously, they do good work. Why the price disparity there? I mean, those are big differences. Like the regular rate of 8,000, and then the good dinner at a regular rate of 4,900, which is obviously beneficial. I'm arguing that, but I just want to get a feel for this.
Sir, I do note the other bidder was quite a bit higher, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know why. I did talk to Leo and tree trimming about that. And perhaps it's just like we get comfortable with vendors get comfortable. They know exactly what we want. That may allow them to bid lower, but I don't know. I can't really comment on how the other bidder bid.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to hold this up, but John, is there a need to? Well, okay. I don't hold this up. I just want some type of clarification. But everybody feels comfortable with this, and obviously the price is suitable to us. Okay. All right, Madam Chair. I think I'm satisfied.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I have a question.
yes.
I'm not sure why this is on the consent agenda versus being presented to us last week. When I read this, I find it interesting with all the tree companies that we have doing business in the city of Southfield, only 2 companies bid on this. And there's and I don't know anything about these companies, but I'm like surprised, Davies Tree Service, I mean, they're a very large company, didn't even put a bid or an offer, and I'm curious where we even advertise this. The clerk's office maintains a list of a lot of people that, cut down trees in the city of Southfield. Were they informed? It just seems strange that only 2 companies in the whole area put in a bid request for this. And I think in the future, an item like this needs to come before a COW meeting so we can ask these questions and discuss it a little bit further. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Okay, council, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, Councilman Brightwell, I move that we approve item H for consent agenda.
Okay. May I have a support?
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilman Brightwell, supported by Councilman Mandelbaum for the approval of the receipt of bids on the tree trimming and removal services. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Banks,
Yes.
Brightwell,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
and Taylor.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Our next item is the ordinances. Under ordinances is an enactment ordinance number 1742 for business registration.
This is Councilman Mandelbaum. I'd like to move that we enact ordinance number 1742.
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilman Mandelbaum, supported by Councilman Brightwell for the enactment of ordinance number 1742, business registration. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brightwell,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Frazier,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Mandelbaum,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
and Banks.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now we're coming to our communications portion. And before we start, I'd just like to read again our standard information that the City of Southfield City Council has established the following rules of procedures for all speakers: that no speaker may make personal or impertinent attacks upon any officer, employee, or city council member or other elected officials that is unrelated to the manner in which the officer, employee, or city council member or other elected officials performs his or her duties; that no person shall use abusive or threatening language toward any individual when addressing the city council. And if anyone violates this section, they shall be directed by the presiding officer to be orderly and silent, and if not, their microphone will be muted. With that, Madam Clerk, would you please open up the lines?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Gerard Mullen, Southfield Citizens Oversight Committee, Post Office Box 155, Southfield, Michigan 48037. Madam President, Chapter 7 of your current city charter has since 1969 described an outdated municipal court system, which takes up to 10% of the total contents of the current city charter. Consequently, Madam Chair, your outdated Chapter 7 in your current city charter is responsible for numerous innocent trees being needlessly slaughtered. The whole irony of all of this, Madam Chair, is that the city of Southfield has been a member of the Tree City USA community for the last 34 years and counting. Madam Chair, this unnecessary extermination of trees is all happening on your watch. After 52 years plus, that is, the clock is still running, so it's about time that you folks here on this city council wake up and do your job and delete Chapter 7 from your outdated charter, along with the many other outdated items, by creating a charter commission under the authority of Section 18 of the Home Rule City Act of 1909. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? If the city of Detroit can mandate periodically a ballot initiative for a proposed charter commission in order to try to update their charter, then the Southfield City Council should be able to do the very same thing. If not this council, then who? Who else, pray tell? Who else, Madam Chair? Who else but you? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, restart the timer. Thank you, love. Good evening, Council. Good evening to administration. This is Pamela Gerald, and I would like to appeal to my fellow residents in the city of Southfield. I have been an independent voice for almost 39 years. I have never come before council without saying anything that I did not have information regarding or know what I was talking about, meaning having the facts. I'm appalled that every meeting we have to listen to a statement that has not been adhered to since the council resolution passed. I have sat there when we were doing in-person meetings and listened to two residents talk very disparaging about several people that work and represent the city of Southfield in an elected capacity. They did it on your watch, Madam Chair. They did it on Lloyd Cruz's watch. They did it on Dan Brightwell's watch. For 3 minutes, not one of you said anything while the mayor was being attacked, Fred Zorn was being attacked, Michael Mandelbaum was being attacked. And I'm appalled. The statement carries no weight because it's already been violated. And not one time were those people put out of the council meeting or warned in any kind of way that their behavior was going to have consequences. Residents, I want to talk to you about this election coming up. Do not be duped and bamboozled by any negative flyers. We have the most educated voters in the state of Michigan and in the United States, right in our city of Southfield, 26.3 or 0.6 square miles. And you know what you know. Do not let negative flyers, character assassinations, disparaging comments dupe and bamboozle you from voting for the people that you know have a heart for the city, passion for the people. Do not be duped by playing the race card. Vote for who you know is going to do the best for this city, and they are already in office right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
We had someone, caller number 8, they had their hand raised. They just put it down. Not sure if they want to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Tanin Miller, and I'm a resident of the John Grace community in Southfield. I've been a resident here for 24 years, along with my mother, Miss Tessie Miller. And my concern is that my home is adjacent or abuts a business known as the Reformer Group. I don't know if it's LLC or incorporated, but there have been numerous concerns and complaints from my end and other residents, but I only can speak for myself, of course, regarding noise. Now, I understand that this is a business and they have the right to conduct their business. However, in doing so, they are disruptive to the residents that are neighbors to them. There have been many occasions where the noise level has just been unbearable to the point that it has physically shaken my home. I have repeatedly called the code enforcement because that was my understanding as to whom I need to address this concern with. But if I'm incorrect in that, could someone please let me know who else I need to speak with? But I have addressed that concern with them. In particular, an occasion, July 13th, they had workers on their roof physically throwing off metal pieces to the ground. There were no receptacles to catch these pieces. And this went on from 12:48 p.m. until close of business on their end. And this happened for 3 days. And they also had a forklift, which they used to compact the metal pieces for whatever purpose they needed to do that. And I say this to say the noise was unbearable. The noise is unnecessary. Again, I understand it's a business. I understand that they have the right to conduct business, but I have the right as a citizen to not be disturbed when they're doing that. I guess the assumption is that I'm at work while they're at work, and that's incorrect because I work off shift, meaning I work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, when people are going to work, I'm coming home to try to go to sleep because I have to go to work. I serve the community as an essential employee, as a nurse. And it's heartbreaking and discouraging to know that I live in a community that no one seems to be concerned about except for myself and the residents of this area. I call this area the Forgotten Harvest. And I mean that wholeheartedly because I feel like it is a forgotten harvest. I don't know what this area of Southfield is considered, but I consider it my home. And I would like it to be respected and treated as such. I'm expected as a resident to maintain my property and to be neighborly to my neighbors as well as businesses or whomever may be around me, and I expect the same in return. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I believe we had code or someone looking into this issue, but I will refer to our administration to reach out to you probably after this meeting or tomorrow or so.
Can I ask a question to the?
Of course.
This is Councilman Mandelbaum. We know that they were working on the roof. Did the noise stop since they're working on the roof, or is there more noise still going on?
There isn't any noise right now. The noise, yes, they were working on the roof. Again, I understand that they're a business and they have business to conduct and they have things that they need to do, but it's just a consideration of the residents that live here. Like my home is nowhere from this building, and working on the roof is fine, but make it quick, make it fast. Be respectful of your neighbors. Again, you're dropping metal pieces to the cement, excuse me. You don't have a receptacle to catch this stuff. You're leaving debris in this alleyway behind my home, which could lead to vermin. I don't have vermin in my home. I've never had vermin in my home, and I like to keep it that way. So, again, back to my original statement, if I'm expected to maintain my property, I expect them to do the same. And again, I have addressed this with code enforcement, and yes, they have come out. Spoken to them personally, but they've spoken with my mother, Miss Tessie Miller, And, they've driven to the place. They've driven up and down our streets. So, yes, they have been out, but, I don't know what they're doing to ensure that they're respectful of the residents that live here. So, if that answers your question, sir.
Yes, it does. And we'll follow up with code because we know that code went out there and, they document everything. So we can follow up with them as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
And like I said, this occurred July 13th at 12:48, and I know this because I have video footage of what they were doing. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
I was just going to suggest that I think it's time to have another meeting with the people at the Reformer Group. I did meet with the construction company that is on the other side of East Street, because there's considerable construction noise there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Reformer Group is getting it because, as Ms. Miller's daughter said, this has been now going on for some time.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Is there anyone else? I thought I heard someone say hello. Okay. Do we have any other callers?
I think the same caller she just took her hand down. I think we are all set, Madam President.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, that's her again. That's her again.
Actually, it's my mother.
Oh, okay.
She has a concern. Hi, this is Mrs. Miller on Delaware, as you know. I have been really upset about all of this situation since I've been over here. I've been over here going on 24 years. And as most of you know, my concern comes from also with RTM Woodwork, which I believe still has some kind of concern with this Reformer Group. And for the many years that I've been here, we've experienced so much disruption. It's unreal, and it seems as though no one has listened to us. I had the pleasure of meeting with the mayor. I had the pleasure of meeting with Mr. Donovan Pham a few months ago, and I was telling him my concern. I have issues with, I believe, the foundation of my home as a result of what has happened with these companies that are about behind us. And as my daughter said, we have done our best to maintain our property. And it's very, very difficult and very, very disheartening that I put all this money into my home, and bit by bit, piece by piece, it's being destroyed as a result of all of these factories and these businesses being able to conduct business in this area. As my daughter said, the forgotten harvest, I believe, is what this neighborhood has been labeled. Not to say that anyone has said that, but that's the way we all feel around here, because we have not gotten anything that concerns us as the resident. Everything has been about the business. I understand, like my daughter said, they do have a business to conduct, but we also have a home that we want to protect, a home that we live in, a home that we cherish, a home that's ours. And I've worked hard. I've been a single parent since she was 8 years old, and I've maintained the dignity of having this home as a result. But every inch of the way, it's been something going on. I mean, they came in here, they took down part of my fence and put up some crap, and it just discouraged me so much. So, I could just go on and on and on, but I know some of you that have been on the council for some time, you know me quite well, because I had to deal with RTM Woodwork. We took them to court. We won, but we still fought them tooth and nail, and it still seemed like it's all over again. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we will have someone look into this and as the mayor and other council members have alluded to, it's time for us to have a more deeper discussion. So thank you again, and we apologize and very sorry for your disturbance that you're experiencing.
Madam President, we do have one more caller, caller number 11.
Hello, my name is Patrice Taylor. I live on Delaware Street as well, and most of you have received numerous emails from me regarding the loud noises coming from on East Street. Initially, it has been Reforma. I've been complaining about them for now a year, and it is constant noise, loud noises, and they're working on weekends too. So I had code enforcement did come out, and Mr. Shisha actually showed me video, and this was just last week. And he said that he sat on that street, and it was not just Reformer. There were the other businesses that were located over there. And when I asked him if he had actually talked with them about their loud noises, he said he had to take it back to Mrs. Beeks, the director. And when he did that, I received an email stating that they are allowed to do construction work and all of these different noises from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. My concern is that, and she said they had permits. So my concern was then I called planning and development, and they told me it's certain decimals that they're not supposed to go over. So the concern for me is that first, code enforcement is blaming planning and development. Planning and development is stating that they're giving them these permits. And my question is, that is supposed to be residentially licensed for only light industrial behind our homes. It is much more than light industrial going on over there. And that's the problem. No one seems to be doing anything. I have health concerns. So all of that loud noise affects my health directly. And it's unnecessary. It wasn't like this. I have been here 20 years, as everyone has stated. It has gotten progressively worse over here, and no one's doing anything about it. So we're just asking you to please do something, because this is absolutely ridiculous that we have to be subjected to this. And in the process, I state that we pay our taxes, we keep our property looking nice. We try to do everything that you ask us to do as residents. So we are, as residents, are asking you to please come and do something about these businesses who are not following through. Thank you very much. And we also have another person who needs to speak.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Imani Ramsey, and I also am a resident of the John Grace community, and I have been here 20 years also. And my concern is about the traffic. The delivery trucks that think this is a speedway. It's 1 block long, and the FedEx trucks come flying through here. And as I was talking today to Sergeant Dickey, who had called about my speaking on this point, he mentioned that they're going to do they're going to start monitoring the traffic for the next 3 weeks. And I do appreciate that. And ironically, as I was talking to him, a Mohawk truck comes flying down the street and almost ran into somebody. It is amazing. Like all of a sudden, it says no truck traffic. And all of a sudden, it seems like a raceway. And we have a number of families have just moved in with small children. And it's getting to be dangerous on our little city street that's been peaceful and quiet. So that's my concern.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
1 second. Caller number 11, was that someone?
No, I've already spoken.
Okay, if you just press *3 and you can put your hand back down, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Madam President, that does conclude the individuals that have inquired to speak this evening.
Okay, thank you. And all that I ask is administration, when you discuss or have your resolution to what's going on Delaware regarding the noise, if you would please report back to council so that we would be made aware of the resolution is for this residential area as well.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes our communication for our public hearings. For our public. Next, we have our council. And I'll start with you, Ms. Banks.
Thank you. Since we're having some technical difficulties, I just would like to announce that during the consent agenda portion of our meeting, this council did approve extending the electronic meetings through the end of December 31st, 2021. They were to expire the end of August, but due to the increase in the COVID numbers, council has determined that it's in the best safety of everyone that we extend our meetings through December 31st, 2021. Also, I'd like to again remind everyone to please remember to continue wearing a mask if you are inside of a building. The number of COVID cases are increasing. I personally am sad to say that in just this past week, I have learned of 10 individuals. All 10 individuals have been vaccinated and they have come down with COVID. And one of them has passed away. So this is serious. This is nothing that, just because you had a shot, you think that you're safe. We just all have to be careful until we can get this under control. And for those of you who haven't been vaccinated, I really wish you would please consider getting vaccinated to help stop this pandemic from spreading. You can contact your doctor, you can contact the hospital, contact, members within your church community, just to discuss maybe some of the fears that you have, and maybe they will help you to change your mind and get vaccinated. That's all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for that reminder, Councilwoman Banks. Councilman Brightwell?
Yes, thank you. I have a couple items that relate to veterans. On August 25, from 11 to 2 p.m., the Detroit Police Department and the Open Community Health Network will be issuing care packages to veterans, food boxes, and also at that event, they will be giving away Myers gift cards for $100 each. Also, for the walk-ins, you can also get a COVID shot. That is August 25 from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Northwest Office Center on Myers. With activity centers at Myers, on Myers at 1810 Myers Street in Detroit. And if you need to contact a chocolate McDonald, that's K.A. McDonald. You can contact him at 248-764-4443. He's with the Oakland Veterans Commission. And one other item that relates to veterans, this is on August 26th in Hazel Park. And let me just mention that obviously, since I've been giving updates on veterans, since I've been involved with veterans, I know everyone listening might not be a veteran, but if you hear something, just pass it on to a veteran or someone that knows a veteran. And our community has a wealth of resources for veterans. And on 26 in Hazel Park, there will also be a veteran resource fair. At this particular fair, you can get emergency relief grants, applications for utilities, property taxes, and you can get grants for those particular items, which is a relief for property taxes, utilities. And also there will be individuals there can help out with housing and neighborhood development, which deals with mortgages, utility rent, utility relief, and housing counseling if you're having issues with housing. There will also be at this particular event on August 26th, someone there to be with behavioral health issue, if that is a problem. And also there will be work, Oakland County Works will also be there to assist in planning. I'll just repeat briefly. That is a Veteran Resource Fair, August 26th in Hazel Park. It's Hazel Park Community Center, 620 West Woodward Heights, Hazel Park. And contact to register, contact the Mission Sales at 248-542-2100. These are very helpful resources for veterans, and I know quite a few veterans who are in need of assistance. And I know the VA reaches out, but these are local communities, and I know our veteran services are heavily involved in helping out veterans. Those items I mentioned, if anyone wants to follow up, just feel free to give me a call, and I can give you the detail that I have, where this detail might have been too fast or not enough, but feel free to give me a call at the Southfield City Clerk's office, 248-796-5150. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Cruz?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Just a couple things. One of them was that something my wife showed me today, that what Oak Park was doing in terms of the power outages, and the city has made available places to discard your trash, maybe not trash, but things like your refrigerator's been out for a few days because a lot of us were out of power and so on and so forth. So I thought that was a good idea, and I just wanted to introduce that to us this evening, and hopefully maybe something we could possibly do in the near future. But I know we can't control the weather, so these things happen, but I thought that was a great idea moving forward. So I just wanted to put that out there for us to think about. Also, as it relates to DTE, I did have a conversation with President Taylor, and did ask for them to come in and to a council meeting and kind of walk us through a bit, give a little presentation as it relates to the power grids in the city, because it seems like it's getting worse over the last couple of years, and that we're losing power more often than we have in the past. And I'd like to know why. So we're going to try to work that part out too as well. Still regarding DTE, if you are out of power for 120 hours after the storm, they are doing a $25 refund. So if that was the case for you, you should be able to, they will apply it to your bill. And so be on the lookout for that. That's always a good thing. And lastly, I just want to make sure that people know that we have had conversation with Contour, who's doing the work at the Northlands, the previously Northland site, and that we have community benefits that are coming back to the city. And I mean, that can be anything from funding something for the youth, maybe creating jobs, and also making sure that we have minority participation in the whole process. I mean, that's a huge piece of land, and there's a lot of opportunity for everybody to be a part of. And so I want to make sure that's something that we just continue to stay on. And we still are maintaining the Northland Steering Committee, and I am still currently the chair, and I will continue to keep that up as a topic for discussion to ensure that that helps. But the whole committee is behind that idea. I'm not saying anything just for me. All of us feel the same way, but I wanted our residents to know too that that's important to us, and we want to make sure that that happens. So, other than that, Madam President, that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, and thank you for those comments. Councilman Frazier?
Yes, I only have a couple of things to say. One of them is I'm not sure what the formula is, or if we're still involved in the formula for liquor licenses. But according to the census report, Southfield grew 6,000 people in the last 10 years. And I just wonder if that qualifies us for another free liquor license, unless they've changed the whole formula so it's taken out of our hands. I know the state has done some things in the past that reduced our control over liquor licenses. So I'd like to have somebody check that out. Also, the people that were complaining about the noise along Delaware. I was on a council when we were wrestling with Woodward and the noise they were making in their heat treating. And I know that they did a lot of things, but one of the things is that I don't think any business purposely makes more noise than necessary to make whatever product that they're making. So, and I applaud our council president for asking the city administrator to put a group of people together to do a little research on that. I'd like to know, what is the zoning along that area? Is it light industrial or industrial, which is different from the amount of noise and hours of operation. But also, is there some things that these businesses can do to kind of dull the sound of the noise? You know, we want businesses to succeed. We want residents to be happy. And sometimes inadvertently you buy a house in the flight path of the airport, and you find out that it's a nice house, but it gets noisy every once in a while. So I'd like to make sure that we take a look at all the possibilities of keeping the business prosperous and reducing the noise so that the neighbors do have some peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Councilman Hoskins?
Thank you. I'm sure the mayor is probably going to speak about this in a moment, but I should say I was able to get down to the Kimmy Horn Jazz Festival this weekend, and it was a phenomenal show. It was so great to see so many people in our city enjoying the great performances that were there. I was able to talk to some of the vendors, some of the residents who were there, even people, many of the people who are not from our city who were enjoying being in our city. It's so great to see and be able to have events like that that attract people to our city. I think that's part of the reason why we did gain these almost 6,000 people to our city, according to the last census. I want to just applaud the mayor and his team and the crew and all of our sponsors who were able to help put that together for us. It was a very, very fantastic event. I just want to highlight two more events that we have coming up this week on our lawn. One is On Wednesday, this Wednesday, we're going to have jazz and blues. The Underground Jazz Organ Trio will be playing at the fountain at the library from 6 to 7:30. That should be a great event. Please bring your lawn chairs. Of course, it's a free. There's no admission, but it's put together by the Friends of the Southfield Public Library, and they always appreciate donations. And of course, as we've been noticing throughout, throughout the last couple of weeks and months here in Michigan and around the country, this concert, like many concerts, of course, are weather dependent. We were lucky this weekend to have such great weather for the Kimmy Horn Jazz Fest, and I'm hoping we have great weather from here and now on. But things happen. So that's this Wednesday. On Friday, we're going to have our summer wind down on the lawn of the here in front of City Hall. That is this Friday, August 20th. It's 7 to 9 p.m. Free outdoor concert featuring Alex Goss and the Detroit Soul Rhythm Band. They'll be performing 70s, 80s, and 90s R&B music. There's going to be food trucks, a cash bar for adults 21 and over. Also vendors out featuring their products and their merchandise. Again, bring a lawn chair, blankets, just in case. Actually got very cool towards the end of the evening on Saturday. So, of course, this one as well is weather dependent. So come on down, enjoy some of the great events that we're having here in Southfield. All right, that is all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Hoskins. Councilman Mandelbaum.
Thank you. It seems that everyone took what I was going to say. Councilwoman Banks mentioned, being safe with COVID. I agree. Councilman Cruz talked about having DTE come to a meeting. I know that was discussed, and I'm all for that. Councilman Frazier asked about the liquor license. I was going to ask about getting an additional one as well. And then Mr. Hoskins had a bunch of different events coming up, as well as the wonderful Kimmy Horn event that we had this weekend. So everything that I was going to say was already said. So thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. And the same for me. Everything that I was going to mention has already been mentioned, and so I won't repeat everything. I do want to ask everyone to continue to stay safe. The variants are, attacking everyone. So be careful, be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, do your safe distancing. And with that, I will move to, is someone saying something? I'm sorry. Okay, well, thank you for your attention. And so I'll go to the mayor.
Good evening, everyone. And once again, as Councilman Mandelbaum said, much of what I was going to comment on, but I'll fill in a few other details. Officially, our census count, Southfield grew by 4,879 residents. I want to express my appreciation to our complete count committee, our Southfield count complete count committee that worked very closely with Oakland County to get people counted. We made a tremendous effort. The members of the committee, it was became very difficult because we had big plans for the last part of March 2020, and of course the COVID pandemic changed that. But nonetheless, I also want to acknowledge Sharon Jones of Urban Unity Community Development, who partnered with us, our Complete Count Committee and Oakland County, to do the various events that we did week after week at apartment complexes to get people counted. So I'm very pleased with this. I would have been severely disappointed if our numbers hadn't grown. So once again, thank you to the committee. Secondly, the Kimmy Horn Jazz Festival was over the top. It was a huge success. And we, like so many things in this past year and a half, we have a plan and then we have to pivot. In this case, we had to pivot because of the very heavy downpour on Wednesday evening and Thursday morning that flooded the field. We moved the stage. There were a number of other things that we had to adjust, and yet we had a record turnout. I have never seen so many cars on Evergreen Road. There were actually traffic jams. The parking lot across the street was full. The parking lots on the municipal campus were filled, as well as the business lots up and down Evergreen. The lawn was packed. The entertainment was phenomenal, particularly on Friday night. And I don't want to diminish any of the other performances, but Tornetta Davis closed Friday night with a spectacular performance. And Kimmy Horn did the same on Saturday night. And a man that I didn't know, he was a phenomenal sax player who was a colleague of mine in Suffolk Public Schools, Daryl Beebe, put on a tremendous performance. And of course, he's is one of our school administrators, tremendous. And finally, on the COVID vaccine, I'm pleased to announce that the Oakland County Health Division will be holding on August 24th, Tuesday, August 24th, from noon to 4 p.m. in the Southfield Pavilion, a vaccination clinic. This will be for first-timers. There will also be the booster shot. You can go to the Oakland County website, Oakland County Health Division website to register, but they are taking walk-ins. So once again, that's Tuesday, August 24th in the Southfield Pavilion from noon to 4 p.m., another opportunity for to take the COVID vaccine. Thank you, Council, and good night to all.
Thank you. Administration, for Mr. Zorn.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to just recognize my public safety personnel, police and fire, my public works personnel for their response to last week's storms. At one point Thursday, we went over 130. I think the official number was just 138, 139 calls to the fire department, tripling our daily volume. Police responded, public works. I was in the public works building as the storm was coming through. A call went out, and I think 24 plus employees immediately came back into work that evening. Down lines, lots of down trees. Our forestry group did an outstanding job getting roads cleared, and just we're doing our best to ensure public safety. So I want to recognize them. I want to recognize my Parks and Rec staff. Their parks have been hit very hard by these storms. If you drive by Inglewood Park, I think we had over 20 trees come down, and it's taking an awful lot of effort to get those cleared. Same time, we've kept our parks up and operating. Want to recognize Mayor Cyber and all the volunteers, Parks and Rec, our emergency management group, police and fire, for making this weekend's concert a success. These events, as Councilman Frazier referenced, truly do enrich our community. They make the Southfield a preferred place to live. I believe that's what's been driving our residential values, the rebuilding of our infrastructure, the quality of public safety, the cultural programs we operate in both our library and our Parks and Rec department. These are the things that help our population grow. That is 10 years worth of additional revenue coming to Southfield, whether it's our block grant program or our road funding or revenue sharing from the state of Michigan, that those dollars add up and allow us to do the work that we need to continue to do. We will investigate the items on East Street. My code department has some very thorough notes. We'll take a look at the zoning as well as the sound requirements and report back to council on that. Final note, those residents experiencing flooding, we need to know about these situations. If any council members are receiving complaints, if you could get those to the administration or to my water department so that we can investigate and at least know the cause of what's happening, whether it's our system or a private system that's failed. It helps us look at the total picture of where we should be investing our monies. This council's made substantial strides in stormwater and water separation on the east side. We'll continue to do that. But those are my remarks this evening, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Attorney?
Yes, good evening, Madam President, Mayor, City Council. I have nothing to add. I just want to echo what City Administrator and everyone else has said, that I also attended the event Friday night and Saturday night. It was wonderful, and I enjoyed myself as well as my family and friends. So kudos to everything that was done, and thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Good evening, everyone. To address what Councilman Frazier said, I did reach out to the Michigan Liquor Control today to try to set up a meeting to get an understanding of if their equation is going to change with the newly released census results. So as soon as I know something, I will meet with the city administrator, and then we'll cascade that information to council. But that is definitely on our radar. And I also just wanted to give kudos to our DPW department as we've been hit with several storms this summer, but they haven't missed a beat. They've been working really hard, and it's just important for us to appreciate our coworkers, and I really do. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I wanted to just make the public aware as the summer is quickly coming and going. We also have the deadline for the summer taxes coming up on August 31st. It's going to be a Tuesday evening. And so we have a drop box available 24 hours a day right in front of City Hall. City Hall is also available for payments to be in person from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., as well as also online payments can be made, as well as also sending their payments in the mail. So please make sure we accept postmarks. Make sure it's postmarked by August 31st. And if there's anyone that has any delinquent taxes have to be made to the Oakland County Treasurer's Office. We don't handle any taxes after March 1st of the tax year. So thank you very much. And kudos again to all the administration and Public Works Department for all their assistance in the storms and everything that was echo, with the great job of the Kimmy Horn concert. And congratulations on the Census Committee. Those people that were added to our population actually add up to dollars for the city also in state shared revenue. So thank you for everyone that chooses to live in Southfield. And please tell all your friends, we definitely want to keep growing our population.
Thank you. Thank you. Our planner? Okay, City Assessor?
Good evening, Madam President and Council. I don't have any updates at this time. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Our City Engineer? Okay, and we have nothing to schedule I do want to add or say that I'll send out my condolences to the Quarles family of the passing of a longtime resident, Southfield resident, Mr. Larry Quarles. Again, I want to send our condolences out to the Quarles family. And if we have no other business tonight, council, I will now adjourn this meeting.
Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.